I'm over here working with Yao Ming in China, and he sends me this little welcome gift, and it literally is a little suitcase. I mean, look at it. It's like this big. It's smaller than my backpack. I mean, does he really think I'm that small? What, did he get a giant one? Oh my God, just off the plane, and everybody's here. Look at this. It's the entire China waiting at the airport. Let's go.
Welcome to one of the most exciting weekends for basketball in all of China. I can't believe that we're here for an all-star game with the CNBA guys and the NBA guys making it happen together. This is awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your further listening pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, leisure.
Let's go!
Welcome back to Season 3 of Upgrade Me. I'm Dana Leong, a 2-time Grammy Award winning musician, a U.S. musical ambassador, and your host. Today, we're visiting the tech mega hub of Hangzhou, inside basketball legend Yao Ming's world. On the arena floor, backstage at his foundation gala, and in conversation with the man himself to find out how he transformed his NBA superstardom into one of the most powerful forces for philanthropic good in China. I've been telling this guy for years that we should be the Kevin Hart and the Rock of China, making people laugh, lifting them up, juxtaposing my average height to Yao Ming's mega vertical, and using any influence we have to do something bigger.
Step on the floor, all our weekend see, so be ready for war. Be ready, fam, we bringing the raw. Just hold the doors, just hold the doors. The method to the madness, the spot blower, our jokers with these slapsticks.
If you're gonna learn to scale, who better to study than the mighty Yao Ming? He's never had any scandals, no drama. He's just a guy who's carried a country's hopes on his shoulders, broke records, then turned his spotlight onto education, sports, and opportunities for millions of kids through his Yao Foundation. In this episode of Upgrade Me, we're going inside Yao's annual charity weekend to see what real sustainable impact looks like, not just on highlight reels, but through the eyes of the kids who thought that they'd never get a shot. Hangzhou is one of the tech mega hubs of China and the entire world. A city where future-facing companies and digital innovators shape how the world shops, pays, and connects. The first time I came was over 10 years ago, and the city was already far ahead of the curve and in amazing shape. And it's always been an amazing place to visit if you're making the trip to China, because it blends old-style spirituality, beautiful landscape, and architecture with cutting-edge technologies of every kind. Right in the middle of all the hyperspeed progress, Yao has set up a different kind of platform, an NBA meets CNBA charity basketball game that's been supporting rural schools and kids across China for more than 13 years, combining basketball, education, and hope. It's not just a game. It's a reminder for world champion athletes and influential philanthropists to remember why they climbed to power in the first place, and for kids from underserved communities to get a feel for an entire arena cheering just for them. The first night of the weekend is the Gala dinner, a mix of business leaders, celebrities, athletes, and philanthropists coming together to raise money and awareness for the Yao Foundation's work. What's my role? Bringing the music. Bringing the energy, and to help open hearts and wallets. When you're on stage looking out at that room, you can actually see how many people want to really be a part of something bigger than themselves. I wish this were something more prevalent in the world. We so very much need that right now. Some of the guests have been showing up every single year since the start. It's absolutely magical. Tonight isn't about who's sitting in the front row or who has the biggest title. It's about the kids that none of us have met yet, whose lives are about to be completely different because of these substantial supporters. Yao's story is one of the purest Upgrade Me arcs you'll ever see. He could have disappeared into luxury after the NBA with endorsements, products, and lived a comfortable, quiet life. What most people don't see is the sacrifice that comes along with making that choice. For full seasons of travel, long stretches away from his family, being always on for the cameras, his teammates, his sponsors, and entire communities that look to him for the answers. And it is not easy, let me tell you. There is a cost to holding that much expectation. I mean, he's truly doing the work of a goodwill ambassador, and he's living hope for altruism in the giant country of China. More recently, Yao had to renegotiate what success looked like from his own peace of mind, having to build a more private, grounded life in Shanghai, where he could protect his family time while he still serves at a very high level. What strikes me most about Yao is how consistently he points the attention away from himself to the kids, to the rural schools, to the partners, to the next generation. He's turned global fame into long-term commitment to education, health, and opportunity. And that is exactly the kind of influence that lasts longer than any championship banner. The quiet, compounding kind. I always say, good habits compound. Out of all the moments this weekend, one story surprised me more than any. A kid from an underprivileged city, he was sprinting around the basketball court on a prosthetic leg. He was named this year's tournament VIP. Absolutely heartwarming. This kid truly earned it. On the court, no one guarded him any easier. No one treated him like he didn't belong. He was out there to play ball, and he did. Running fast AF. Yao mentioned some of the new technologies make us truly bionic now, and sometimes even better than our original selves. And that is insane. When you see a kid like this coming from so little with a prosthetic, standing in front of a sold-out arena, I mean, what does that mean to you?
Yeah?
Long day.
Energy's good? Yeah, it's been a long day.
Happy.
Yeah.
Is everything going well?
Yeah, the kids are so cute. They're from your
I just see the kids are giving him the basketball. Actually, he have a prosthetic leg. And he play basketball.
Yeah.
The technology is so unbelievable.
For both of us, this is the clearest picture of what Upgrade Me really means. It's not about upgrading your status. It's not about upgrading your impact, your access, and what you believe in what's possible. Even when life literally takes a piece of you, there's this moment where the kids take the court. The entire energy of the arena shifts. These grown superstars who have played the biggest arenas and stages all around the world turn into big brothers. They're feeding them passes, letting them shine. You realize the game is just the vehicle. The real win is a kid going home thinking, if someone like me can play here in an arena, what else could I do next? My path to meeting Yao had nothing to do with basketball, however. It was over 10 years ago. We first met when we crossed paths through Alibaba's Jack Ma and his associate, Mr. Brian Wong, who's also been featured on this channel as well. Alibaba is the giant e-commerce force, but they also believe in using business and culture to move people forward. Their philanthropy conference brings together the top charitable missions in China and showcases them on a stage for thousands, and an unbelievable streaming audience of over 100 million viewers. It was insane. That certainly gave Tectonic Music one of the biggest jumps in our 14-year history. It instantly connected us to mainstay charity partners such as Save the Children, the United Nations, and it connected us to folks like Yao Ming, the Kung Fu action star Jet Li, and many, many more. So recently, Yao and I reconnected at the American Chamber of Commerce's 110th anniversary in Shanghai, where I performed music blending American and Chinese songbooks as a musical keynote right after Yao's keynote speech. was pretty surreal and humbling to think that I was able to be part of such a historic moment this year, and a time when diplomacy and understanding are more needed than ever. Those moments taught me this. When you consistently show up with a regimen and a mission, the people who are serious about building bridges, they don't just show up once. They keep coming back and they keep on growing indefinitely, side by side, right there with you. So Yao Ming's story isn't just about height or highlight reels. It's about how you handle visibility, capital, influence, and whether the cameras are rolling or not, how you show up. In Yao's case, he took global fame and converted that spotlight into a platform for rural education, youth sports, and hope for kids that rarely leave their hometowns, but will never forget the days they played with the legends. Spending the weekend with Yao, you feel the weight and the warmth of his life. There's a quiet sadness in how much personal time he's traded, years of flights, hotels, and obligations, but also a deep calm that he's now settled into and carved out a more private home base and a rhythm that lets him actually breathe more. That's the paradox of real impact. You give pieces of your own comfort so that other people's lives get a little lighter, and then, if you're wise, you learn how to rebuild a more peaceful world around you. And it keeps on going and keeps on going. Look at John Cena's response to having family versus devoting, or not having family, versus devoting himself to being present in his life and career moments.
If I look forward to having any kids, question mark?
Yeah.
Currently, no.
Why?
From the information that I've gathered, you kind of got to look after them.
Yeah. It's kind of...
Yeah. I'll just give you a small insight into my life. I have been working straight for 43 days now, and I got another 20 to go. So if I were to bring a life into this world that needs environmental nurture and unconditional love, I also know that takes time. And I've been blessed with some great opportunities, and life has awarded me the chance to do some amazing things. And right now I want to seize those opportunities. So I don't want to make an irresponsible choice and bring a life into the world that I will neglect. I don't think that's fair.
So here's the question for you. Whatever influence you have, be it 5 followers or 5 million followers, how much of it is about just you? How much of it is about somebody who could never pay you back? As I left Hangzhou with a tiny suitcase, my tiny suitcase, and a huge amount of inspiration, I kept thinking, you don't need to be a 7'6" Yao Ming to make a big difference and make a big impact. Maybe your version of a charity game is mentoring one kid, starting one community project, or simply showing up consistently for the people in your life that actually need you. That's your Upgrade Me, Upgrade You challenge. Find one way this week to turn whatever you're good at into something that helps someone else's win. One tide to raise all ships. If it worked for myself with Tectonic Music and Yao with his foundation, it can work for you. Until then, keep on upgrading. Subscribe for more Upgrade Me stories, full episodes coming right your way this season on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere you get your shows. Hit the Patreon over here if you're feeling generous to help us continue connecting with top-notch guests globally and raising our production bar. We truly appreciate you. Keep on upgrading.